Hello, I am so glad that you're here and are curious as to what natural living is. If you missed my first video on this topic, I will link it in the description below, but it went over my journey thus far. Basically having been a nurse for over a decade and now coming to a more holistic lifestyle. I left my nursing career and now am a homemaker with my 5 children on our urban homestead. I'm continuing my education in herbalism, and I kind of wanted to go over what natural living is with you today. So today I kind of take you through some of the daily life that we do around here, some of the systems that we've implemented in this house, some of the things that we've set up, whether in the house or outside. And I kind of just want to show you what options you can have even living in an urban setting, depending on your rules and regulations, of course. But I also want to give you some encouragement that you don't have to do everything at once and that you just can start small, make certain changes now. So today I'm just going to go over what natural living is to me and just give you some encouragement on getting on that journey. So today we're going to really talk about something that really seems to trip people up. Some misconceptions going around that it's either everything or nothing. Well, there is that middle ground, there is that beginning point, and there is no perfection in this world. So I'm hoping to get those misconceptions out of the way today and give you hopefully. I wonder if you hear my daughter in the back.
Hey Mom, can I help with that?
I don't think so, sweetheart.
But Mom, I can reach up to almost the top one. So please, I can reach up to this
Can you?
one. Yeah.
Here, I'll show you. So this is how you put a towel up.
Okay.
Okay. You gotta get underneath. Okay.
Okay, so that's how you put them up.
Yeah, you want to try?
Here.
Here, put this. I know one of the things that people talk about is that do you have to do everything? Do you have to get it all right or nothing at all matters? And that is absolutely not the case. So walk with me today and let me go over natural living and some of the things that we've implemented on our urban homestead. I'm really hoping that today, through this video, I can get you on this path without having that overwhelmed feeling that I did when I first had my eyes open to what I was doing and things that I was doing that were normal in our culture that were actually really harming me and my family. So I'm really wanting this to be encouraging, not scary. Let me know in the comments if you're already making changes, and if so, what are they? Or if you have any questions about something that's really bothering you, maybe you need to brainstorm, leave those in the comments as well, and I will see what I can come up with you. What is natural living? Big question, right? To me, natural living is being intentional with your choices, informed consent on a lot of things, and I'll get to that shortly. And then also getting back to basics and slowing down. Some things were better back in the olden days, as you can put it. Some things that we're doing now are much more harmful to us than you might understand or know already. Other things that are natural living to me is doing things that are going to help your body, not harm your body. So things that are supporting natural health, not fake things that you get told are true and real and they're actually not. Like I had mentioned with natural living being slowing down and getting back to basics, this is an example of that. Me hanging up clothes and things out in the backyard is definitely slowing down. A dryer is going to be much, much faster. However, it's going to cost more electricity, therefore more money, and it's not always the best for your clothes in the long run. They make them break down a lot faster, in my opinion, in my experience. And it's giving me more time with even my children. As you can see, my son decided to run up and offer to help and do what he could with me. And that is invaluable, in my opinion. I found that when you do slow down and involve your children more like this, it does open up more time for you to discuss things, especially as they get older. So again, this is just one example of slowing down and getting back to basics. Also, doing some homesteading chores with our baby chicks. If you've seen our recent video, well, semi-recent, about a month ago now, where we did a new setup this year where we've kept them outside from day one, it has been game-changing for us. It has made it so much easier. If you've ever had chicks before, you know how time-consuming they can be when you're constantly changing their bedding or their waters and just keeping their small little area in your house clean, and then having the smell in your house to worry about, and the flies and everything that comes along with it. I will link the video in the description below if you'd like to see our setup, but it's basically just an old chicken coop that we did. And to us, that is part of our lifestyle, utilizing what you already have and making the best of it. I just actually got this new waterer right here, which I'm not really a fan of, to be honest, because they're getting so big, and the little one that's on its legs is just, I was having to fill it 3 or 4 times a day. So, but yes, so our little homestead, being a producer, like I mentioned in my last video, is very important, and my flock needs to change out because the older hens are no longer producing as much. So this is the new flock that's going to be taking over in the next few months. Another thing that we've done recently we've added a few more fruit trees. So we have a mandarin, a peach tree, and another orange tree that we just added, those 3 little ones kind of in the triangle. I already have a lemon shrub, I'm calling it, because it got topped, that one right there, in the first storm, and it got topped off, so it's never getting any bigger than that. And then those little old tomato cages back there are a bunch of grapevines that we've planted, and I think we have about 6 or 7 of those going. And this is a fruit salad tree. It has 4 different things of fruit on it: plums, apricots, peaches, and I forget the 4th one. 2 of my elderberry bushes, and then another grape back there, and then there's another one to the right of this that you'll see. And then I also have my apple tree that has 4 different varieties on there. And no, I have no idea what they are unless I go and look at them. But I do have another orange tree off on the other side of that has never grown. So I'm not sure what we're doing, but this is going to be our little orchard, hopefully, so that we can be a little bit more self-sustainable. Again, getting back to that natural living purpose of being more of a producer than a consumer, and knowing where your stuff is coming from, not having to always go out and buy, but being able to go in the backyard and grab it yourself is very important to me. Even these little, I don't know if you just caught that little lizard on the rock. It's so funny. We have so many lizards. But this is an all volunteer. This used to be where the chickens were, and now I have tomatoes, and they're even starting to fruit. And then I have some kind of squashes going on, and another wild lettuce right there that I'm probably going to harvest in the next couple weeks. And all that green patch out there towards the right and down a little bit in splotchiness is all lemon balm. Just, it's amazing. I do have a little bit of stinging nettle in there that the kids know to stay away from, but it is just so much fun. So I did used to think that natural living meant you had to grow all your own food, never use any store-bought anything, and churn your own butter, so to speak, which is all fine and dandy and something that I would love to aspire to, but unfortunately right now that's just not in the cards. So, and it's just not real life for myself and for probably most of us watching, and especially for those that are living in the city or a house full of little ones. it's very difficult for me to even have what I have now. So I can't even imagine actually churning my own butter. But again, you know, we all have KitchenAids or Bosch mixers or something that can do it for us, but still.
Okay.
Are you gonna look for more? You don't need a homestead or a big budget. You don't have to throw out everything you own. You just have to start where you are and with what you have, like I've mentioned before, and you build on it slowly. So the things that I have here are things that I have worked on over the years and have accumulated over the years. It has not happened overnight by any means. We do not personally have those resources. I wish we did sometimes, but at the same time, if we had been thrown into a 10-acre farm, we probably would have failed because I did not have the skills that I have been developing over the last several years to even begin to comprehend what we would do with that amount of land and such. In a previous video where I was tincturing artichoke leaves, I mentioned that the artichoke was about to flower. This is a flowered artichoke. It looks so much like milk thistle, and usually it is swarming with bees. So I just wanted to throw that in there as something beautiful to look at. So in our home, natural living looks like a lot of little choices stacked together because we've made changes over time. We clean with vinegar and essential oils or something similar to that, and instead of bleach. We reach for the elderberry syrup, garlic, herbal teas, tinctures when someone starts to feel sick or if we've been exposed, just different things we do now. And we use reusable cloths and napkins instead of always reaching for paper towels. I can't remember the last time that I bought a thing of paper towels. It's been at least a year or two. And when it comes to food, we aim for whole, simple ingredients that nourish, whether we've grown it ourselves or we've sourced it as organically and self-sustainably as possible. One of the first swaps that I have done is learning to make bread and bread products. I absolutely hate the idea of buying bread from the grocery store. If you've ever read Joel Salatin's Folks, This Ain't Normal book, I love how he describes bread from the store versus bread from home being made. Dead food versus alive food. And that really struck a chord with me. If you haven't read that book, I will link it below and I highly, highly recommend it. But essentially, you're not going to get anything from any nutritional value from the food at the store like that. That's pre-made, pre-packaged. And here I am making brioche, sourdough brioche. And this has taken me a little bit of time to learn. I think this might actually be the first or second time that it actually came together for me. And so it is a lot of trial and error. I did not come into this knowing how to do it. I actually had a friend come over and show me how to make bread, basic bread, the first time because I was so lost. But if I can do it, you can definitely do it. And I take such joy out of it, knowing that I'm doing the best that I can for my family, even if it's just in this area to start, and learning how to utilize this. What are you doing? What'd you get? Oh?
Papa!
What's that? Did you break it off my thing? Oh my. So from the brioche, they can have this delicious bread once it's made, or I can actually turn it into some sort of French toast or other kind of thing along those lines. And it's very versatile to learn this skill, to learn how to make bread. So this is another 2 loaves of bread that I have rising because we go through bread very quickly in this family. Lots of sandwiches, lots of toast. Another big swap for us has been, like I've mentioned before, changing what we reach for when we're sick or when we want to boost our immune system. We have a lot of holistic, natural options available. And then you'll also see in there a couple little mainstream things like ibuprofen and then like the high vitamins and stuff for the kids. And then the books and just everything that you may need to learn the skills. And then this is a real and raw homesteading, natural living kitchen. You'll notice there were clean dishes and dirty dishes. And I have eggs. I have a fan because I am always in the kitchen, it feels like, whether I'm cleaning or cooking. Like now I'm back doing dinner, and I decided to do something fun for the kids, which was waffles. And they just love having breakfast for dinner. And when I didn't prepare very well, this is kind of what I go to. I'll go to some form of breakfast for dinner. And I had a lot of sourdough starters sitting in my fridge, so I wanted to use that up here. And then for a treat, I'll show you that I am making some homemade whipped cream from just some basic 2 ingredients. I didn't sweeten it at all. It was literally just heavy whipping cream and vanilla. And the kids just loved it. It was such a treat for them. So like I've shown you, this is not a perfect way of living by any means. It's messy, and sometimes my laundry can pile up, the dishes can pile up, and sometimes we do order pizza. Not gonna lie, I am a pizzaholic and I absolutely love it. And my kids actually always ask me, is this homemade pizza or is this bought pizza? So, but I don't let that derail the bigger picture, because this is a lifestyle, not a checklist. And one of the first swaps we ever did make was with the laundry detergent. So this was years ago when I was having all my migraine issues. And I remember reading the label and realizing I couldn't pronounce half of it, and learning what some of it actually was once I looked it up. That was a light bulb moment for me, and we switched to a cleaner brand. We actually buy from Azure Standard. I can put a link below to the one that we've been using for years and have been very pleased with. And we also stopped using things like Downy and so fabric softeners. We stopped using the, what are those things? Those dryer sheets that go in there. See, it's been a while. Started using wool balls and essential oils on the wool balls if I wanted to have a nice little, scent to it. And then now, as you've seen, we are using the clothesline as much as possible. Do I do it for every single load of laundry? Absolutely not, especially the kids right now. That's a lot of little pieces of clothing that would have to go up there. So I'm doing the best what I can with what I have. And that's what I'm hoping this encourages you to do, just to start and make those little changes now. So I hope that if you're watching this and you're feeling overwhelmed, I totally get it. But I really hope that this is giving you more encouragement than overwhelm. I've been there. I was working night shifts as a nurse with toddlers at home, also homeschooling my oldest, and just trying to keep everyone alive and fed. Not to mention my husband was working the opposite shift than me, so it was literally a tag team effort. And so my advice to you is don't try to do it all. Pick one area, like switching out your hand soap or making your own herbal tea blends, and start there. That's enough. One step today is better than waiting for perfect, waiting for all the resources in the world. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope this helped take some of the mystery and pressure off the idea of natural living. It's not about being crunchy or perfect. It's about choosing what matters most and building a life that supports it. In the next episode of this series, I'll show you 5 of the easiest, most practical swaps we made when we were just starting out. Things that make a big difference without costing a fortune or taking a ton of time. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this so you don't miss it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.